Okay, so today we're going to talk about percent of change. All right, so it's a couple of things just to look at first. Everybody's going to have to memorize this formula. All right, new minus old over old equals percent of change. Right, this percent of change is going to be what we're looking for over 100. Then to simplify or to solve for this, we're just going to cross multiply and then divide. And I'll show you a couple examples. All right, but we definitely want to memorize this formula. All right, so I'm going to write it out here as n minus o over o. So new minus old, and that's going to equal our percent, which is what we're looking for, over 100. All right, so notice in the question it says find the percent of change. So that tells me right away that I'm looking for this percent. All right, and I also know that's how all of these problems are going to work. All right, so let's talk about what our new and our old numbers are. So 146 is increased to 290. 146 is increased to 290. Well, we start with 146 and it is increased until it gets to 290. So 290 is going to be our new number, 146 is our old. And we just simply plug it in. 290 minus 146 over 146, that's going to equal our x over 100. And then from here, you guys are pretty much pros at cross multiplying, but you do have this little piece right here that we might want to simplify that first. And I know that I can go ahead off to the side here and say 290 minus 146 is going to be 144. And when I do that, I'll have 144 over 146 equals x over 100. And all you guys have to do, cross multiply and divide by x's partner. And when you do that, you will see that x equals 99%. Right, and I didn't worry about any decimals because it says to the nearest whole number. So let's not forget what a whole number is. So what this is saying is that we started with 146. We increased it 99% to get to 290. Okay? All right, so find the percent of change, round to the nearest whole number. Again, I'm going to start off with my n minus o over o. And that's going to equal my percent over 100. I really want to remember this formula. So I like to say like no over O, just kind of remind you that it's NO over O, and just don't forget about the subtraction. So what is my new number and what's my old number? Well, let's see, 95 is decreased by 30. So I'm starting with 95, it's my old number. I'm decreasing it until we get to 30, which will be my new number. All right, and again, just plug in the values that you know. Remember, we're always looking for percent and it asks for percent of change. And then from here, if I do 30 minus 95, I know that I'll get negative 65, and we will talk about that in a second. And then all you have to do is cross multiply and divide. So cross multiply and divide by x's partner. And when you do that, you will see that x equals negative 68%. So what I do want to point out is that what this negative sign means is that we are in fact decreasing. All right, but when we write out our answer, we will never, ever, ever have a negative percent. So our answer would just be a positive 68%. That negative sign is to kind of let us know that we're decreasing. All right, so now let's really get into them. So I'm going to write the formula down again. And that's going to be percent over 100. So a baby weighed 7.2 pounds at birth and 9 pounds at the age of 1 month. What is the percent of change? So we got to look at the question. So if baby weighed 7.2 pounds at birth, and then it weighed 9 pounds at the age of 1 month, we would know that 7.2 is our old number because that was at birth. And then a month later, it weighed 9 pounds, which would be our new number. So again, we just have to fill in what we know. And it's going to be x over 100. I'm going to skip with this little subtraction piece right here. And you know that you can cross multiply, divide by x's partner, and x is going to equal 25%. So another way to look at this is a baby weighed 7.2 pounds. At birth, 9 pounds at the age of 1 month. What is the percent of change? It is a 25% increase because it is positive. I kind of pointed out when it was negative, that means it's a decrease, but you'll have questions that I'll ask. So it's 25% increase because our initial answer was positive. All right, so the price of a video game system was $259. The price decreased to $199. All right, so what is the percent decrease in our price? Well, we know that we see this word decrease, so we're probably going to get a negative answer. If you don't get a negative answer, maybe you picked the wrong new and old numbers. So let's look at it. And we're going to round to the nearest whole percentage again. The price of a video game was $259, and they decreased it to $199. So $199 is going to be my new number, and my old number is going to be $259. All right, and again, you just plug it in. All right, you're just going to plug it in and cross multiply, divide by x's partner, and you'll see that x is going to equal negative 23%. Negative 23%. But we know that this negative is just saying that it is decreased. So our x is actually going to be 25%. So I believe, oh, I'm sorry, 23%. So A. All right, only a couple more. Drew's salary increased. Remember, increased probably means that we're going to get a positive answer. From $6 an hour to $7.50, what's the percent increase? So my formula is n minus O over percent over 100. Well, what's my new? Let's see, I increased from $6, that's my old, and my new amount is $7.50. So I'm just going to say $7.50, 6. Again, we're just going to cross multiply, divide by x's partner, and you'll see that x is going to be another 25%. All right, so the biggest thing here, I think, for you guys is just to memorize this formula. Once you know this, it's just being able to figure out what your new and old is. And the cross multiplying divided by x's partner is nothing for you guys. All right, so the price of CDs at a local music store increased from 16 to 20. So again, we should get a positive answer. So, all right, on my formula, if it increased from 16, that's going to be my old, to 20 will be my new. Write these in different colors. And I just plug in what I know. So I know that I'm always going to be looking for my percent with these types of problems. Again, you're just going to cross multiply and divide by x's partner. And you can actually put all of this 20 minus 1 times 100 in Desmos. Just make sure you use parentheses. All right, and our x is going to be another 25%. All right, when we come to number 10 here, suppose the average attendance at the Bayside Middle School basketball game went up from 200 people in 2011 to 310 people in 2012. What is the percent increase? Well, a couple of things here. We know it's increased, so it's going to give us a positive answer. So if you get a negative answer initially, you know you did something wrong. We also have years. It gives us 2011 and 2012. So that should help us with our new and old. Well, if we had 200 people in 2011, but then a year later, 310. So I'm going to say 310 is our new and 200 is our old. All right, and you're just going to plug in what you know. Oops, I'm going to go put an X for that. And cross multiply, divide by x's partner, and you'll see that we get 55% increase. All right, Maggie's been exercising by climbing steps. Her climbing rate at the end of week 1 is 25 steps per minute. At the end of week 4, Maggie's rate was 60 steps per minute. What is the percent increase of Maggie's rate of climbing steps from the end of week 1 to the end of week 4? We know it's increased, so again, probably positive. They give us timeline, right? They say week 1 is 25, and then week 4 she's at 60. So week 4 would be my newer number, and week 25 would be my older. So 60 minus 25 over 25. All right, and again, cross multiply. Divide by x's partner. I'm sorry, divide by x's partner. And you'll see that x is going to equal 140%. So this is a good question too, is you can have a percent that's higher than 100. I know usually I give you guys examples, like what's the max you can get on a test? Well, if there's extra credit or a bonus, you can certainly get above 100. So don't be leery if your answer is bigger than 100%. And also look, you have 25 steps. So if that was 100% increase, that would be 50 steps, right? But we have more than 50. So, think a little critically. You guys will be all right. If you have any questions, ask your teacher. Other than that, have a great day.